Alright guys, now we're up to our third match of this day. As Envy, the owner of the leader of the HWN owner of SCA, will be taking on V-13. And this is very surprising, because you would think that since Envy owns the company, she's in this tournament, you would think that she would have done it, gave herself an auto buy to the finals. And surprisingly, she didn't. Why? I don't know. Guess she's trying to prove a point. Doesn't need shortcuts, doesn't need reinforcements. Trying to make an example as the leader of the HWO. Envy was unable to make it through the CCL Women's Championship Tournament, but now she has a chance in the Women's Tag Team Tournament to become one of the very first Women's Tag Team Champions in CCL with Misery. They should have two chances of getting a shot at the tag team titles in CCL. And for Envy, this is a big opportunity for making this tournament to get a shot at the Queen of Roses Championship. And now Envy's opponent, one of the most dangerous women in the history of SCA, especially during the era of 2010, V-13. The crowd is applauding. They're clapping and applauding in respect. They respect V-13's power. They respect how dangerous they know V-13 is freaking dangerous, and she's freaking crafty. Even though, despite changing her ways, she still keeps some of the old habits that intimidated her opponents in that ring. Especially with her very intense battles against Rebecca Nightfall during that year. And what a year 2010 was for SCA. As well as subpart in 2011. Some members of the crowd have mixed feelings about V-13. Some don't like her, and some like her. This is very interesting. Envy's taking on one of the most dangerous women in SCA. V-13's taking on one of the most dangerous and crafty people in SCA. This is going to be very interesting. Envy's focused. I haven't seen Envy this focused in a really long time. Envy, think about it this way. Envy is the current Queen of Hardcore champion. If she were to win this tournament, face Aquamarine at Death of Rebirth, and defeat her, and become the Queen of Roses champion, she will be the second double champion in the history of SCA. Sheena Marie, back in the day, was the first double champion. And imagine then, if the HWO win, if Envy and Misery win the tag titles in CCL, she'd be technically a triple crown. Then if she ever won the Women's Championship while still holding those belts, she would be a Grand Slam. Something I believe that has not been done in the history of SCA. No, it has never been done in the history of SCA, or in women's CW in general, as far as I know. Or maybe there has, but remember, there aren't that many, pure women's organizations here in CW today. Only myself and the one that Murph runs. And Envy back body dropping V-13 to the concrete floor. There ain't no protective padding. That floor is just painted blue. Envy with the E-cutter that can be caught in any angle. V-13 with the Murakuma. That near dangerous DDT, literally, that can literally spike you like a hammer hitting a nail. Nail to the wall. 15-9. Kick to the face by Envy. Envy now with the go behind, and now going for a Cobra Clutch. You're gonna have to fight V-13. You're gonna have to be you have to overpower her or outsmart her. And Envy is currently doing the first one, and that's trying to overpower V-13. So far, she's had a couple of maneuvers that definitely worked, and she has control here in the early going. Like I said, this is the early going. We gotta see how, as the match goes, Envy can keep that pace going in this match. And just like that, V-13 will turn this thing around with a textbook scoop slam. And the crowd is literally roaring. They're roaring for this because they always wanted to see Envy take on V-13. And this is the very first time these two have ever faced each other in the ring before. I know Envy has had a whole lot of her mind. You know, I actually had to speak with her before the show. She's angry at the fact that in CCL, Samus has been ducking her ever since last year. We all know that Envy is the only person Samus has not beaten in CAW Champions League, as well as her other members of the HWO. But Envy, mainly, she has never beaten Envy. The last time Envy and Samus wrestled, it was a double disqualification, and then they brawled, and Envy laid Samus out. Since then, Samus is claiming that she's beaten everyone on the roster, but in reality, she has not. She's been ducking and avoiding Envy at all costs, and Envy, I know she wants Samus so badly in the ring for a women's championship match. Not only that, and a punch in the face to V-13, and I had a feeling Envy had brass knucks. I couldn't really tell, but she took out some kind of foreign object that the ref couldn't see. But she's been ducking Envy. But I know that for a fact that since they're both in the tag team tournament, Samus will not be ducking Envy in the tournament if they do meet each other in the finals. And I'm hoping to God that does happen. I want to see Envy and Samus again in the ring, even though it's not in a singles match. And Envy putting V-13 on the top, E-cutter off the top rope. That E-cutter can be done from anywhere. And again, another E-cutter. 1, 2, and no. Oh man, that was so close. I really thought it was going to be over right there with those 2 E-cutters. I wonder how V-13 is going to respond to this. V-13 hanging Envy in a tree of woe. Oh, Envy with a counter with a knee to the face. Oh, what a power slam. Envy tried to go for that running elbow, one of her bread and butter attacks, but couldn't. And Envy countering, I think it was going to be the Murakumo Envy V-13 was going to try to use. But I still want Envy and Samus to meet in the ring for the Women's Championship, but I have a feeling, you know, Samus is not going to be ducking Envy for long, especially since they're both in the tag team tournament. Samus has been running from Envy, challenging all these other women that she's beaten, and not fighting the one she has never beaten. Hell, even in those Fatal 4-Way matches, even though technically you can't really count those, because a victory over the entire roster means you would have to face them all and beat them all in one-on-one matches. Fatal 4-Way doesn't mean anything, because come on, anybody can be pinned in a Fatal 4-Way. It's not like the champion specifically has to be pinned. And another E-cutter there by Envy. Envy coming out of nowhere with E-cutters. And V-13 responding with the DDT. But I know one thing, I know Envy will get her wish. In the tag team tournament, as well as in singles competition. European uppercut there, V-13, but Envy going right to a wrist lock. And you know, V-13 has been having some of her own problems as well. Ever since Saya has been hanging around with Dark Sakura as of late, it's created some dissent. There's been a lot of problems between Nightfall and her daughter, and their daughter, Saya. And it's been really, you know, it's really split views. Saya was tempted by the powers of Dark Sakura and joined Dark Sakura. Not really, you know, technically joined us and teamed up, but she's become a follower, a converted. And look at V-13, hold on 1 second, V-13, literally with that Death Valley driver, she planted Envy into the mat. Oh, here we go, she's got her Murakumo. V-13 caught her with a Murakumo in the middle of the ring. It could be over. Only a 1 count. Envy sure has the will to win. She wants to win this match. She really wants to face Aquamarine. And any of her future rivals in this tournament, like Hakufu, the woman who she screwed last year, and nearly had the HWO nearly end her career. Deanna Diamond as well. who she also screwed. Oh, what a neck breaker by Envy. Just wrapping V-13's own arms around her neck and just dropping her. And no, it is not over yet. You know, V-13, you know, with those problems with Saya and she's caught in the middle, you know, she doesn't know what to do. And in truth, I don't blame her. 1, 2, and 3, that's it. Envy will be advancing to the second round. Alright, let's see here in the replays. This is one of the difference makers in this match, one of the game-changing moves. She puts V-13 on the top rope, punches her right in the face, and went right for the E-cutter off the top rope. And then why stop there? She gives her another E-cutter for her troubles. But it was only a 2 count. Then, at this point in the match, Envy and V-13 would go at it in an exchange, but Envy would throw V-13 to the corner. These overhead punches, but V-13 would counter those punches right into a backbreaker. Then, at this point, she had her in the underhook submission, and countered into a power slam by V-13. That was a really deadly power slam. And right here, she set her up right here for the Death Valley Driver. Look at the impact of this. Boom! Following up after that would be the Murakuma. Drilling Envy's head really hard into the mat, but that was only a 1 count for some reason. Envy going for a random cover, taking out a 2, V-13. And this is what ended it right here. Look at that DDT driving V-13's head into the mat. Not as dangerous as the Murakuma was, but it did the job. And gave her 1, 2, and 3, giving Envy the victory. Now we gotta stay tuned. We only have 1 more match left of this final day of the first round, and we can go right to the second. Up next will be Salvatore taking on HWO member Andrea.